Yes, people, welcome back to West Ham Unofficial. I hope you are all well. It's time for a live transfer speculation show where we keep you up to date with all the latest West Ham transfer news, gossip, players that are going to come, players that aren't going to come, done deals, and everything in between. Hope you are all well. Drop a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Check out our channel sponsors, Esther M. Carver & Son, by clicking the link in the description down below. I'm joined by Kieran all the way over from Brisbane in Australia. Kieran, how are you?
Good, mate. Good. I've had a lovely day, mate, and the sun's just gone down, and hoping for good news and more good news. I don't think we can manage the 15 signings of Nottingham Forest, but
No.
maybe we try and get there.
And as well in the last 2 hours they've announced Morgan Gibbs-White for £45 million, which is absolutely ridiculous, but
absolutely mental.
£45 million. I'll tell you what, if Morgan Gibbs-White's worth 45 million quid, how much is Declan Rice worth?
Yeah, there you go. He's worth 200 now.
He is bang average. But anyway, we're here to talk West Ham transfers. We're going to start off with one of Kieran's favourite players, all the way over in West London. We need a left back. You know, that's the bottom line. We need a left back. We heard a couple of days ago that the deal for Emerson is off, but now we're hearing it is back on again. And Darmesh has put something out, and he said talks have resumed between West Ham United and Chelsea over the signing of left back Emerson. Club to club fee is close to be finalised, and discussions are ongoing with player representatives. All parties hopeful a compromise can be reached to get a deal over the line. So it sounds positive on that sense, that this could be the left back coming to the club. Kieran, on the whole, what do you make of the player before we get into the transfer side of things?
Well, all the time he's at Chelsea, he never really. It doesn't excite me that much. I'm not like, wow, I'm glad we're getting him. You know, after we've been linked with Ram, and then my one I wanted was Zinchenko. Yeah. And then Cucurella goes off to bloody Chelsea. And all these great left backs that I really wanted have all gone. So now, when his name came up, I was a little bit deflated going, really? Not the fourth choice left back at Chelsea? That's what we got now? But I know I know he weren't that exciting when he did have a run in the Chelsea games, and they weren't that great. But maybe I'm misreading it. Maybe the boys just needs. I'm not sure how he went on. Where did he go? Leon last year on loan.
Yeah, Leon. Yeah, we actually played him in the 2 legs of the Europa League,
and I don't remember him. So that's even worse. So, I don't know whether he's really done well with them or not, or and maybe he's a good signing. It just doesn't. It's not a signing that excites me, but we do desperately need a left back. So maybe he's the answer. I'm not so sure.
Yeah, I think we were linked with him. It was either in January or last summer's transfer window, and to be fair, I could understand it, and I think it works for both sides because they've just signed Cucurella, another left back. Emerson's going to get no game time at Chelsea. We need a left back, and as long as they're, as long as Chelsea don't be stupid about it. From what we heard, to be honest, it was just before about the personal terms, and he can play left back. He has in his career pushed up to play in left midfield as well. He's 28 years old, which. He is the right side of 30, isn't he? At the end of the day, just have a look at some of his stats from Lyon last season. Before we move on, last season 29 appearances in Ligue 1, so he was utilised last year with Lyon. 29 appearances, 1 goal, 2 assists from left back. It isn't fantastic, is it? 7 games in the Europa League, and he did play one game for Chelsea last season as well. So his contract expires in 2024, so they're probably now thinking it's time that we let him go. The big question is, and Robert puts it in the chat, is he a step up from Cresswell?
Yeah, he probably is in age only for me.
Yeah,
in age. He's got a few more years on Cresswell, but no, he's not. Like I said, I could be completely wrong about him, but he's not a player that excites me. I think, wow, that's going to be a great signing left back. I just think it's a fill-in, and I'm not sure. You know, what money are they asking, Jake?
I'm not so sure. I mean, his valuation is around £12 million. It's gonna be around that region. And according to a few sources, our what's the word? Club to club and almost fee is nearly agreed. So they possibly around that, and it's gonna be around there. But the only issue we've had in the past is the personal terms. We're hearing he
Yeah.
still wants a 6-figure contract, which is 100 grand plus a week, which we're just not going to give him. But he does say both clubs and both parties are trying to compromise on this. There's quite a few hurdles to get through left in this deal. I don't know how much, but it's going to be in that region of 10 to 12 million pounds plus add-ons, I think.
Now, that's a great question by Robert there, saying, is he a step up? Is he?
Yeah.
I'm not so sure.
I think he is, because he's got what, 5 years on Creswell. I think he is a better player than Creswell. It's difficult. I think he's a good player. You think he's crap, Kieran, at the end of the day.
Basically, yeah.
So that's that.
Well,
that
was my impression of him early doors at Chelsea, and obviously it was their impression because he's ended up being like maybe fourth choice left back at Chelsea, So they're not obviously that impressed with him. Whatever they paid for him or brought him, he might have come with a great name. I don't know. I'd be really interested to think what the Leon supporters thought of him now after being there for a season. That would interest
me. Yeah, it was. Maybe him coming to West Ham could be the rejuvenation of his career that he needs. To kick up the backside to come.
And he could surprise us, and we'd all be going, "Wow, this is," like I said, we brought Dawson in, and we all went, "Whoa, really?" And he's been a revelation. So it could be the same. I'd like to think so, but I don't believe that he can be on, over 100 grand a week. That would be crazy. I think that would be
100%. Yeah, it does need to be way lower than that, and both parties do need to compromise. They need to compromise on that. If he wants to move, he will lower his budget, because I'm sure that he's not in need of that extra, few grand a week that he's not going to get through his week without his extra 20 grand a week. I'm sure he'll be okay, but it's whether
he'll survive. He'll survive.
Yeah,
mate.
he'll survive. Yeah, exactly.
You got another Australian there, mate. You got Paul Beasley. G'day, Paul.
Good evening from the RC. We are the Australian takeover. You're taking over. Another name that's been bandied around, which we were actually linked with a couple of years ago and put a couple of bids in for, is that Vanaken from what's the club called? See, I've lost it now. Vanaken. Apparently, we were looking to put a bid in for him yesterday. He's the club captain of Club Bruges, but he's pushing his way out and he wants to move. That speaks volumes, Kieran. Before we get into it.
Yeah, I heard good things about him. I haven't seen enough of him, Jake, probably like most people. But I've heard good things about this. Vanaken?
Yeah, Vanaken? Yeah. Vanaken, I'm going to call him. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm calling him Vanaken then, just to be different. And Mr. Vanaken, he could be the real deal. Could be a really good player, but like I say, I haven't seen enough of him to say so. Where they reckon the deal's at now? I've heard that West Ham are pushing for him.
Yeah, we really, really are. And I think both parties are actually pushing for it. Obviously, Club Bruges don't want to let him go because he is their club captain. He wants to move. He's trying to urge Club Bruges to get the deal done. We want to get the deal done. And the kind of latest of it is you've got people at The Guardian coming out this morning saying West Ham have upped their bid for Club Bruges midfielder Hans Vanaken. Negotiations will continue between the two clubs over the coming days, with the 29-year-old making it clear he wants to move. We've got, I think X said it yesterday as well, that we are planning to put a bid in, and it's again, I think it's going to be around that 10 to 15 million pound area. He wants the move, we want the move. I think this could be pretty plain sailing to get it done if the two clubs can agree a fee, Kieran.
Yeah, well, the 15 million pound, it's not a bad punt, regardless, is it? When you're only paying that kind of money. Anything between 10 and 18 million pounds to me is worth a punt. if the guy's got credit behind him and he's got some, a lot of experience. And the club captain in Bruges, he obviously must be well thought of. His age isn't the best, 29, and no doubt he'll be 30 by the time the season ends.
Yeah.
But for that kind of money, if you're talking about 15 million, it's worth a go. In today's markets, it's gambling money for them, isn't it? And it either pays off or it doesn't. But I think it's worth the gamble.
Yeah, just a bit of a fact file on the player then. So, of course, 29 years old. He is going to turn 30 in 5 days. August the 24th of his birthday. Let's call him 30. Yeah, we'll call him 30 now, which isn't a great age, but if we want the deal, we're still going to get a good couple, 3-4 years out of him, I think. His current market value is around £14 million, 29, nearly 30 years of age, 1.95 metres. He's 6'3", Kieran.
No one. All right. And where's his actual position? Is he defensive midfield, centre half, or?
He is. His main position is attacking midfield. He can drop back into the centre of midfield, or he can go out onto the left. He's played, but his main position is kind of that Benrahma attacking midfield role. Yeah.
So I'm guessing that he was the next choice after Onana that we didn't get.
Possibly.
And he must have been the next boy in line.
Possibly.
Yeah.
That's a good shout, actually, because we did hear that we had kind of another shortlist after if we didn't get Onana, and this guy could be on it because David Moyes has made it clear he wants another creative player. This could be this creative player. So he's 6'3". I don't know how tall Souček is, for example, but he isn't.
He'd be similar, wouldn't he?
Yeah, Souček 6'4", so he's 1 foot 1 inch, off of Souček. But in terms of
Scamacca beats them all.
Yeah, he does. I say he's gigantic. Scamacca, 6'5". He is gigantic. In terms of some of his stats, then, if we go to last season's stats and show them, just 2 seconds. This is live, people. So overall, he made 50 appearances last season, scoring 15 goals and getting 12 assists. So that's over the 3 domestic leagues over in Belgium, and 6 appearances in the Champions League, getting 3 goals and 1 assist. 4 goal contributions in 6 Champions League appearances, Kieran.
Well, they're good stats, aren't they?
They are good stats, yeah.
At that level as well. We're not talking 2-bob level there. We're talking top level here. That's really good stats. That's really promising. So, yeah. Like I say, when you're talking that kind of money, it's a no-brainer for me. You get the man in, and let's see what he can do.
It does feel like another little Rob Newman pickup, if it were. That's his stats from last season. So there's the 3 domestic leagues, I gather, and overall there you've got 27 goal contributions in 50 games. That's more than 1 goal. That's more than one goal contribution every 2 games. Every other game. That's good, Kieran.
That's pretty high, Mardo. I'm good with the maths. And no, that's fantastic, isn't it? That's a really good stats. And like I say, for that money, why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you? Exactly. I just hope more. Yeah, it's no good bringing him in though, and then leaving him on the bench for 8 weeks, Mr. Moyes. We'd like that.
We'd like
let's see what we can do.
Yeah. And as well, his stats are looking quite good for the start of this season. He's played four games in his in the Premier League of Belgium, and he's already scored 1 goal out of them 4 games. So he's going to be a guy that's going to come in. He's going to make things happen. He's going to score. He's going to get an assist here and there for 15 million quid. David Moyes wants an attacking player. This looks like, apart from his age, his height, his stats, he wants the move. This looks pretty perfect, Kieran, to be honest.
It does, because we do need more goals from midfield as well.
Yeah,
this is what West Ham have never had a goal scorer since probably Cotty McAvenny that gets 20 plus, right? So our average strikers always have been around the 10 mark, if we're lucky, 10 to 12. So our midfielders are important to add goals, as our centre halves are to chip in as well. But we need our midfielders to score goals, and I can't see Lanzini. To me, is at the end of it with West Ham, and he's not going to be scoring you many goals. Fornell is going to get you an odd one. We like to hope Ben Rama, but if the little bits we've seen him in the last two games, he comes good. He can chip in with goals. We'd like to see that. Hopefully he does. But to bring another attacking midfielder might get you, half a dozen goals a year, 7. That would be fantastic, because he's obviously got a record for doing that and assists. So, yeah, it sounds really, really promising, that one. I like the sound of it. More so than Emerson. Let's put that way.
Yeah. Before we move on, 27 people watching. Drop a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. Let's just go through some of your comments. Robert, have you seen his 100 goals video? I haven't. Scored some good goals and takes penalties, but that's good. We need a good penalty taker.
We need one of them. That's for sure. We need one of them right real quick.
Yeah, we do. I did, Robert. I read your mind. We're talking about Hans Vanaken. He is no older than Lingard, but his stats look good. And to be fair, the big thing is, can he bring it over from the Belgian league? Can he bring it over to the Premier League? Yeah. And the kind of setup, if he's going to be played in sort of an attacking midfield role, I think he will overtake Lanzini in the pecking order. So I think for two positions, you've got the left midfield and you've got the attacking midfield, like that cam role. So you've got Cornet, you've got Fornals, you've got Ben Rama, you've got Lanzini, then Vanaken. So I think you take Lanzini out, you put Vanaken, and then you've got Vanaken, Lanzini, and Ben Rama, who can all play in that kind of attacking midfield role.
And that gives us another bit of height in the box too, doesn't it? With pieces. Yeah, another one. Another one we can throw in there. Fantastic.
I could almost see as well. What about this? I could almost see him coming in to replace Souček at times as well, because he seems like a very Souček player, and we know how poor Souček has been. Coventry was okay last night. Flynn Downs has picked up a little bit of a knock, which was unfortunate, so we didn't really get to see him. But he seems like a very similar player to Souček. Very tall.
And like I said, there could be if it ended up with Souček and Rice there. I mean, it could be well, it's your turn to go forward, or it's my turn to go forward. It could be a bit of that, because I don't think Rice is happy playing the. What I like him to do is be defensive midfielder, because I think that's his best position. But I don't think he's happy doing that. He wants to get forward, so there could be an interchanging role between them two, and going forward, it might suit Rice here. Did you think Souček was poor last night?
He wasn't great, was he? Again,
No, he weren't, and I felt sorry for him, because I thought that was the kind of game I thought he might, without Rice there, might really take the ball by the horns and have a great game, and I don't think he did. I thought he was fairly average.
Yeah, the one player that I almost felt a bit sorry for was Coventry, because he was almost playing with, a couple of sticks in midfield, wasn't he? Because, I would have liked to see Coventry play alongside Rice in midfield, because let's be honest, Souček's been useless for a good few months now. At the end of the day,
I don't think it helped.
Useless,
Yeah, it didn't help Coventry last night, and I just found that he seemed to get very negative with the ball and just kept passing it backwards and sideways, and he weren't too keen to go forward or play it forward too often. He was just a bit guarded, I think, in what he was trying to do, trying to be too safe, I think.
Yeah, and Souček needs to kick up the backside, whether it's a new player coming in and doing that, or whether it is Flynn Downs or somebody else getting that opportunity in the Premier League. Put Souček on the bench for a week, tell him that he's been rubbish at the end of the day, and just give a player like Flynn Downs or Coventry a go in the Premier League, because let's be honest, they can't be any worse than Souček, because Souček's doing nothing.
No, it's really disappointed me lately. It's like when he first turned up, and he was fabulous, wasn't he, in that first stint? It's like he's been found out, and he is worth the money we paid for him. We thought he was worth double the money after 6 months of him. But maybe he is only worth what he is, and that's why other big clubs weren't chasing him, because maybe he's not that great. He had a great purple patch, but now other teams have found him out a little bit, and maybe his confidence is a bit low because
Oh,
we like to put it
100%.
down to fatigue for a long while, didn't we? We put it down to fatigue and that, but
Yeah.
you can only put it down to that for so long. I
Yeah.
think,
And as well with Souček, I saw it straight on at Forest was his confidence is at an all-time low. That header he had where it came back out and all he had to do was just get a bit of momentum on it and head it into the corner. And it ends, a year ago that would have gone in, with his confidence.
Exactly.
He just can't do anything right, can he?
No, it was not. It was annoying me when the commentator said, "What a good save." No, it weren't, because he should
No.
never even got his hand anywhere near it. All
Yeah.
you had to do is lob that over his head with a bit of power, and it's a goal.
Yeah.
And nice. A year ago, he bangs that in. Not a problem.
Yeah.
See you later.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Let's take some of your comments. Here we go. Paul, would you consider bringing Payet back? That has been a big major news story in the last few days. It's kind of gone quiet in the last 24 hours, but apparently he wants to move back. Dimitri Payet to West Ham, 35 years old. Apparently, according to sources in France, he's not been playing for Marseille because he's too fat, and they're not letting him play.
He's never coming to West Ham, right? At this stage, right? 35. He's never coming. But I'm telling you now, right? I don't care what anyone says. I've watched West Ham since Bobby Moore and Clyde Best and Trevor Brook and Alan Devlin, all up to now. Paulo Di Canio, Tevez, and he's probably the best player I've ever seen at West Ham. The best player I've ever seen. Only for a shorter period of time. Brookin done it for many, many, many years, as Devonshire did, and Bobby Moore and Jeff Hurst and Martin Peters. But he's the best technical player I've ever seen at West Ham. What a player. And what a season that was. So I will make that statement, and I'll stand by that statement. He was amazing.
He has certainly split the fan base, because there are a lot of people that say, yeah, let's bring him back one last dance. But there's a lot of people saying, listen, put some realistic hats on here and say, look, he's not coming back, is he? It's just not happening. So you've got Paul here who says, yeah, we want Payet back. Still a good player. He's only 35. In terms of Souček, Steve, hope you're well. Don't know what's wrong with Souček. Well off the pace. He's got no confidence. He can't do anything right in midfield. It's just a really bad time for him. And I don't know how you fix it. I really don't know. I don't see him train day in, day out, but I don't know how this is fixed. I don't know how this issue is resolved.
So I think against Forest, right? I think Moyes tried to fix it. He's basically playing as a second centre forward, really, and Rice was sitting deep, and he had every chance he had, he didn't take. And maybe just one of them had gone in for him. It might boosted him, might have changed things, but he didn't, and didn't look like he was going to take a chance either. So
it's incredibly frustrating. Yeah. Robert says thought that Coventry was easily knocked off the ball. Yeah, I did think it was a bit too sideways, backwards from him. But as I said earlier, I'd like to see him alongside a Declan Rice, where he can pass it to him and Rice is going to go. I think those two could complement each other really, really well. Just a shame we couldn't see that. Franco, hope you are. Definitely not Payet. 35 is too old. Souček was so good. Wonder if Moyes has handcuffed him with tactics. I don't think it's anything to do with Moyes. I just think it's we, as Kieran was bang on earlier, he said we at times we put it down to fatigue, but we can't put it down to fatigue anymore. I think it's just whether he's just hit the end of his road, or I don't know. I really don't know. The Danes were big lumps. To be fair, credit to the Danes last night. Credit to Viborg, because a few fans spoke to West Ham fans and they said that's their biggest game in their history. Was it?
I'll tell you what, I will give them credit for that team. They look like nothing up front, but they passed the ball really well. A lot better than we did. 100%. Their passing was really, really good in between each other, triangles, back, forth, sideways, front. I thought it lacked any end product to it. It didn't have anything at the end of it, but they passed the ball fantastically well. Really,
they were really, really good, because
Yeah,
at times we were chasing shadows because their passing was
yeah,
so good. We were in pre-season mode. I think just on the whole, with no real
yeah.
crowd there playing against them, it felt like a pre-season game. But at
It did.
times they put the intensity up, and they were passing in triangles. They were organised, and the end product was the only thing that really came in our favour. And to be fair, we don't say that often. The end product saved us, because it actually did. We do not say that often, because their end
And they
product.
still scored, Joe.
Yeah, and they still scored. Exactly.
There's no
One
end
of our
product, but they scored a goal.
new players did come on, and a few question marks over him. Our new centre back. Would you say he was at fault at the second goal or not? Their goal. Sorry.
No, I don't think so, mate. Tilo,
Yeah, Kara. Yeah,
the geezer was bigger than him. That's why.
true. Downs was tidy. Yeah, just a shame we couldn't see him for a longer period. So overall, getting back to transfers, then we've got how long? The transfer window ends on the 1st of September. It's the 19th today, which means we've got 13 days or something like that. Just under 2 weeks left of the transfer window. Kieran, come 2 weeks' time, how many more players would you like to see through the door?
I would like to see. What I'd like to see is another 4, but I don't think we're getting that many. I think. Well, now we got old Tilo in.
Yeah.
I said I wanted 3 before then, and a left back is a must. I'm just not happy about the left back we're getting. But if it's to be, it's to be. If we get Emerson and we get this Vanaken, I don't see us getting anyone else. If we do, if we did get a third, I'd be over the moon. I think now we have to work with what we got. At least we know them, because we do need the numbers, Jake. And I've said this for a while now. We are in a rebuilding stage. I thought we were in a rebuilding stage last January, and we needed to start then. And that really disappointed me. We didn't bring anyone in, like it did many people. Right? And I think that did cost us top 6. But we needed to rebuild them, because even if you're a forward-thinking manager and whatever, if you're looking to the end of this season, I think O'Bonner's probably at the end of it. I think Cresswell's at the end of it. Lanzini's at the end of it. Rice will probably leave. So these numbers now coming in are important. So we don't have to bring in another 8 players at the end of the year. We need to get them now and bed them in and get them playing. I just want us to bring in the right players. And Moyes does, because that's his mantra, isn't it? I'm not sure. Of all the players we've gone for, the only one I have doubts about is Emerson. And I hope I'm completely wrong. I hope that boy comes here and has a new lease of life, and he's a fantastic left back if we do get him, if we land him.
Indeed. Let's take some more of your comments. Pyatt has definitely put some timber on. He certainly has. Pyatt to come on and take penalties. Paul and Adam say the same thing. A couple of loan signings would be good. Surprised we don't have any loans. That's the normal way. And we've signed 6 players, and we've paid money for 6 players as well. Do you think we could explore the loan route if we just want to get a couple more, just cheaper deals in towards the back end?
I think he's still got that in his back pocket, hasn't he? The loan thing. And and the Brozier Gallagher thing, one of them. Loftus-Cheek's another.
Loftus-Cheek on a loan, yeah.
I wouldn't mind him, I quite like Loftus-Cheek. So that wouldn't be a bad option. I think he's holding back that loan deal because we'd love to get you. You're not allowed to have 2 loans from any one club, are you? So you can only do that for whether it be Brozier, whether it be Gallagher, whether it be Loftus-Cheek. I think he might be saving that to see if he can persuade Chelsea to loan us one of them. Now, which one, I don't know. I'd take any of them. I think Gallagher would probably be my first pick, then Loftus-Cheek, lastly Brozier. But
Kent says Antonio could be finished next year as well. Yeah, so another rebuild will have to come on top next year, because more players are going to leave. Before we go, a little bit of a shameless plug. you all know I got to the final of the Football Content Awards last year, and we're going to try and do it again, and maybe one step further. The voting has been released in the last half an hour for it, so I'm going to bring it up on screen, tell you what you can do to help. The link is in the chat to go straight to this website, so you can vote in 3 different ways. You can click this link to vote in the best young content creator category. Just type in West Ham Unofficial, Jake Cox, whatever, the same thing to vote for me. Vote to go to Instagram, put my name into there. It's all self-explanatory. And you can vote via Twitter by putting I am voting for, and then at Jake Cox or at West Ham Unofficial for the best young content creator award. And you can just click wherever it is, best young content creator. That will take you straight to the Twitter page, and that will show you what you can do. So if you want to vote for me, you can vote all the way up until the 4th of September. So keep making new email addresses, keep voting, and you can
vote there or be square.
Exactly.
That's what you got to do, boys.
Exactly.
I
vote
don't
for
think
me.
I can get young. Can I get young creator? Can I be in there?
Yeah, young creator, Kieran. You're getting it. Under 20s only it is. Do you reckon you'll get away with that?
I doubt it very much.
But yeah, if you can, please do head over and vote on the Football Content Awards website there. Let's try and get to the finals once again, because that was a right laugh last year.
That'd be good, Jake. That'd be good, mate. Let's go for it.
Fingers crossed. Robert says, make you right, Kieran. We need to be buying not just this season, but for the next. The age of some of the players is in question. It certainly is.
Yeah,
you know, we are very much looking short term with players like Vanaken, but then we're looking long term in terms of our centre backs.
Yeah,
Kara,
as long as we're doing better. I don't mind someone like Vanaken coming in. It's still for another 3 years, maybe 4. You know, that's not an issue. But what like Ken said with Antonio, I think, you know, one more season, really, we need to be upgraded. Like Creswell and Lanzini's and Ogbona's probably at the end of it. Rice will probably leave at the end of this season. So, you know, we're probably losing 5 or 6 players then. So we need to prepare for that now. We can't just not. You know, how many losing this window, Jake? About 7?
Yeah, 7, 8, 9, something like that.
You know what I mean? So, and we're probably bringing it. That's why we need Vanaken, and you know, we need to get our numbers up to 5 or 6 or 7, bringing in this window just to cover what we've lost. So, and we've got to prepare for it for next summer. So I'm excited about getting these boys in and making them work together. It's nice to have another striker, isn't it? It was nice to see last night. That's what I did like, was Antonio came on off the bench for Skamaka. Brilliant.
Change, wasn't it?
And he looked lively, he looked fresh, and it was great. I mean, yeah, you're beauty. You know, and then bringing Ben Rama on for Bowen, and you know, there was a bench to come off instead of just Yarmolenko, is it? Or Frederick, or you know, you want something on the bench to bring on, and we're getting there. But like, you know, ideally another 4 would be lovely, but that's not going to happen. But if we get Vanaken and Emerson and one more, I will take that.
100%. If we do get any more than 2, I'd be incredibly surprised. But there we go. That's the live transfer speculation show done. A huge thank you to everybody watching in the chat. A huge thank you to you, Kieran, for coming on.
No worries, bro. I'll catch you again.
Thank you very much. So is Emerson coming? Is Vanaken coming? Put all of your thoughts, if you haven't caught this live, in the description in the comment section down below. Vote for me in the Football Content Awards video about that will be coming very, very soon. From me and Kieran, come on, you irons, and we'll catch you soon.
And don't forget the vote. Don't forget the vote. Christ's sake. Wake up, boys.
Cheers, guys, and we'll catch you soon on West Ham Unofficial. Bye-bye.